rest of you. We're going to be doing another Apache Spark Code review today, and specifically today we're going to be doing what I like to think of as a roundup or a follow-up one. And this is where we just go and we look at the pull requests that we looked at in the last like 3 reviews, and just sort of make sure that they're all moving along. And if any of them need more comments or clarification, we can go ahead and provide that. And if any of them are finished, but no one else has gotten around to merging them, then we can go ahead and merge them. And I really, really like merging pull requests. Unfortunately, I don't get the chance to do that as much as I would like. And that's just because of sort of how my schedule works out with when I have time to do open source code reviews. Normally, I'll leave a bunch of comments and then I'll come back to it. And often, but not always, the comments have been addressed and the pull request has been merged before I have a chance to come back to it and merge it. This happens less in areas with less committers working. So like in the Python space, more likely that I get to be the one to merge them. Okay, so that's some good coffee. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the YouTube stream just because I know that the integration is a little rough, I would say. So we're just going to go ahead and bring up the YouTube stream so I can keep an eye on any chat messages which might be popping up in YouTube. And the Twitch one normally propagates through a little bit better, so less concerned about that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and switch this to live view. And then I guess we can see I was looking at coupons because I like coupons. And I have way too many tabs. But since we're doing a roundup, I'm just going to go to this open pull request to the Spark PRs board. I'm going to go ahead and do a sign in once it loads. And then it's going to give me, I think if I click on my name, yeah, it lets me see my own PRs, which I clearly care about, so we'll follow up on those. But it also lets me see the PRs that I've been working on that aren't merged yet, and we can see when they were last updated. This one is, yeah, the committer commented date is not kept up to date correctly. Because the committer list isn't really done. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's probably that's a lot of pull requests. We're not going to have a lot of time to dive deep into the pull requests today because we're doing sort of a follow-up, but that should be good. Oh, and there's also actually one that I got emailed about this morning that I definitely do need to take a look at because I made a pull request to fix a thing and it got merged, but I screwed up in the pull request, and thankfully another committer came in and made a fix. Yeah, wait, since the last one is only adding comments, I'm confused. Is this, it is closed, okay. So this just, wait, I don't think this got merged. I'm slightly confused. But okay, let's talk this one through. So I made this pull request here, and everyone approved it. Really great. When I first made it, I didn't have a test to make sure it was callable from Java. Who suggested that yeah. He suggested I make sure that it's callable from Java, and that seemed reasonable, so I added that test, but I screwed up and put the test in the wrong place. Thanks for catching this all. It's all my bad. I thought I was in the test directory, but didn't pay enough attention. And so I think I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. Okay, reference this PR. Yeah. anyways, this PR was merged. This PR moves the test case, but I don't think it was merged. It doesn't look like it. But it says I will merge this. Okay, yeah, no, it probably was merged. Okay, yeah. I'll just go ahead and say LGTM. Thanks for fixing this. And so the original PR that I did was, let's go take a look at it over here. Oh, hey ZBR. I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I screwed up on a PR, but you know, that's par for the course and not so bad. And it's already fixed, so that's pretty great. How are you? Anyways, yeah. So this got merged, and this was to make it so that people who are writing data source v2 implementations can access the Hadoop config without having to write their own serializable configuration extension, which is useful. We use it frequently in Spark's own data source v2 impulse. Okay, cool. So with that one out of the way, let's take a look at this one. What was my last comment on this? Whoa. Okay. This was last updated October 19th, 2018. Dungeon just added the MLlib labels to it. So it's not actually updated, it's just had the labels updated. So we're not going to bother taking a look at this. This one, it looks like, is more recent, possibly updated. Okay, same situation, update or close, so we don't have to put a lot of time into this one. What about this one? Deal with the K8 resource names that don't match their own regular expressions. Oh yeah, this is the one where I was a little bit confused. Let's see if they explained it to me. So this is the character as letter part is confusing. Yeah, where any responses? Okay. What? Yes, but is only used for service. Okay, so I don't understand the person's response. So let's take some time. Okay, so I asked, the resource name prefix is used for pod and secret and service resource, but only service resource is not used when the first character is a digit. Character is letter is only used for service. Gotcha. But this is not character is letter, right? Okay, yeah. So if we, I'm not so sure here. Okay. So this is saying this is the regexp. So they're saying character is letter is only used for service. Only service resource. So I think what I remember from our last review is character is letter. Yeah. So if we look at this is letter. Yeah. So let's go take a look at this one. Determines if it's an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, title case letter, modifier letter, or other letter. What is a modifier letter? Yeah, okay, so I think okay. So only service resource. I don't completely understand your response. Your response. So I wanna go bring up the code. So I don't keep scrolling up and down. So we're gonna go not what I wanted. We're gonna have the code here, and then so okay. The resource name prefix is with the change guaranteed to start with a letter, right? Because is guaranteed to start with a letter. Yes, is guaranteed to start with a letter. Is guaranteed to start with something in A to Z and 0 to 9. Let me write my understanding, and you can point out where we're not matching up. So yeah, this one, right? So because we've replaced everything that isn't in A to Z or 0 to 9, or a dash with just an empty string, and then we've also replaced anything that's a dash at the start of the string with an empty string. This means that we're guaranteed to start with A to Z or 0 to 9. Then the resolve service name. Gotcha. Okay, so the service name changes, but the rest of the prefix doesn't. Okay, this is starting to make sense now, a little bit more to me. But I'm not sure that this behaves the way they think it does. Character is letter 1. Because when we were looking at this PR in our previous review, I thought character is letter was a little bit different. So let's go ahead, build SBT console, maybe. Wonder if this is going to take forever. Because I want to bring up a console and double check this. Yeah. Gotcha. The point of the character is letter check is to filter out anything that starts with a number. For service, because only service requires starting with only service has that requirement. Right? Okay, so that sounds good. But I'm not sure character. I don't know what character is. Letter does. The docs. Who knows? But let's go ahead and import this. Import Java lang character. Character.is letter. 0 returns false. Okay, returns true. So that's great, I guess. I don't know what modifier letter or title case letter is. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is yeah, while character dot is letter accepts fucking hell, I can't spell for shit. More than just A to Z, the other things it accepts has already been filtered out. So in practice, this is the same as doing a regex check for A to Z. A to Z dot star. Yeah. If that's the case, maybe just add a comment about that, because it takes a bit of tracing through the code to build up that context. And so it's just like, hey, what's up? This logic looks fine, but it took me a long time to figure out what the hell was going on. So maybe let's put a comment so that, you know, the next person who comes in to modify this stuff doesn't have to spend, you know, 10 minutes finding the JDK documentation and really digging into it, because it's, you know, not the most amount of fun. Okay, but that's pretty great. So that's cool. So we've looked at this one. We'll go ahead and put that over here. We'll close this because it's the same one. What's this one? SparkR integration tests. Anything happen? Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'll try and follow up with this next week. And so, just for some context, this is Alon wants to enable the SparkR integration tests. However, the way that we're building Spark right now means that the SparkR integration tests wouldn't work because we're not building with our support. And so I want to change this, but we have to go and do that inside of Jenkins. And so I'll do that next week because that's going to take a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and we'll just leave a comment on that, and we'll go ahead and push this back here. And the reason why I didn't do it previously is I wanted to make sure that Shane was okay with it, because changing Jenkins, you know, hopefully you don't screw anything up, but you know, sometimes we do, and Shane is like the main Jenkins person, so I want to make sure that, you know, we're in agreement on what we're doing here. Okay, this one. I don't remember what was going on. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, right, so this is a thing where the default executor name, are these tests written in R? Yeah, so the Spark R tests are mostly written in R. This is just a PR to turn it on, so it doesn't actually touch any R code. It just, you know, adds it to the list of things to test. If you want to take a look at the Spark R tests, we can go ahead and it's like our tests suite, and we can see that there's like it's testing dataframe.r. Okay, dataframe.r, and so this is probably the R test that it's doing. It's not a very complex test, and the main thing is just we need to build Spark with R support, and I'm not actually sure if R is installed on Jenkins either. Yeah, so I'd probably have to SSH to some of the Jenkins hosts and validate, you know, that they're all set up to build with R and stuff, and it's going to take a bit of time. I can maybe do that as a stream, you know, if people want to see sort of some of the CI setup side. But yeah, here it was just people were like, yeah, I mean, I could, that actually, that would be cool. I think we can probably just mention it in the migration guide. If we don't, but if we had a setting for configuring the container name, I'm good with that too. Cool. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, I mean, this right now, it only supports it if you don't change the container name. And we can see that down here, where actually one of our tests had a different hard-coded container name, so they had to update the test. And so, yeah, I'm fine if people want to make that configurable. I mean, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, if we depend on the sidecar, what should we do if the sidecar? Yeah. I want to go ahead and take a look at this change, where this comment is. Failed executor with running sidecar. So I think this is more the case where the sidecar doesn't fail in Spark. Spark has failed. We want to... Wait, is that true? Oh no, actually, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a... that's a good point. I don't know how often the sidecar is critical. I could also see to keep running alongside Spark. So I'll defer to others' judgment there. Yeah. I'm not super sure about this one either. This is to make it so that we don't update the pod to failed when the sidecar fails, but there's a really good point, like maybe that's actually what we should do. If our sidecar fails, maybe Spark is probably not going to be healthy anyways, and we should kill that executor. I'm not super sure about this one, so I'll leave that for other people to discuss that point. Oh, the JVM flag. Very excited. Where's this going? Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Are you gonna... Sounds good. So this is just, they added support for having the JVM exit on which is, like, I think a very reasonable behavior. And the feedback they got from a lot of people was just like, we should maybe, you know, support this everywhere, not just inside of Kubernetes. And so that's great. Doesn't look like the code's actually updated. So what I'll do is I'll say, you know, sounds good. Please ping me when you open that PR, or if you update this PR to support all of that. Support of the cluster managers. And so this is just like, hey, I like what you're proposing to do. Please, like, make me aware of when you make this change. And this is because, like, there's too many Spark PRs if people don't make me aware that, you know, they've made a change. I might catch it, I might not, but if they do, I would be very happy to review that. Okay, so this one has been going back and forth a little bit with some different participants. So there was an issue where the the default backing checkpoint file manager, it has some issues. And the idea here is to more consistently use it. Although, yeah. So, I'm really hoping that Dongjun can comment, because he had some requested changes, but he sort of deleted them. And I want this to make some progress. Let's go take a look at these code comments. Make qualified disappeared from here. FSMK checkpoint string. Yeah. Right. Yes. We're using the checkpoint file manager for this behavior now in the PR. So we are not. What's this checkpoint path? Okay, let's go take a look here. Okay, checkpoint path is a new path from checkpoint root, and now checkpoint file manager exists. Legacy checkpointer. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. This makes sense. So actually here, here would it make sense to keep the fs check as well, since we want to catch the previously created checkpoint directories and suggest folks migrate. Yeah, start review, I think. And so this one now has fs get URI fs. So we're not. Let's take a look at the checkpoint file manager, because it's been a little bit. Checkpoint file manager.scala, and there's some implementations that are sort of side by side, I think. Def mkdirs, fs permissions. Oh god, yeah. So yeah, this is the file system based checkpoint manager, and so it goes and it says fs mkdirs path sf permissions get dir default. So this is going to make a different directory, and that's going to be a thing that we might need to. I think so. Yeah, I think so. So we're not directly making fs operations. operations. So the checkpointer has changed. So this actually brings up a good point. We're also, I think, might be changing the path that we would be using. Is that true? I'm not sure. Let's rephrase this. Would this change the path? Okay, yeah, let's go put that down below. FS. Okay, let's go ahead. So checkpoint path, make qualified. FS permissions, getter default. So now we're doing mkdirs, that's our path. And so, oh, this is changing, not like in a particularly, make qualified path. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I guess if we provided relative paths, this might change. Looking inside of the checkpoint of the default implementation, so instead, okay, yeah, so wait, yeah, yeah. Interesting. So we don't appear to handle qualified paths anymore. We don't appear to handle, or not qualified paths, relative paths. I mean, it doesn't say. Is there? Yeah. We don't explicitly translate this to a fully qualified path. Do you think that would be an issue? I'm not super sure why this would be an issue, but I'm definitely open to the idea that it totally could be. This makes a new manager. And then it deletes the checkpoint path. Let's go ahead. Where is resolved? Okay, yeah. Yeah, cool. Why do we need this and similar changes? The original test was fine with a temp directory. Checkpoint location. Final. I mean, it's an interesting question. So, what is this? Okay, I think offset log to URI. Wait, that's weird. I'm slightly confused here. Yeah, okay, let's go. Oh, no, it's java.io file. Java.io file. Equals new. No, wait, what? Oh. All caps. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Yeah, well, whatever. I guess I have similar questions around why we changed this. Okay, and then if I go back to toString, yeah, this, I'm not super sure about this. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We can submit those questions, and I'm sure someone else will answer them. Okay, so this one is one of my own PRs, which means I'm motivated to try and see it merge. Let's scroll down. All of these things say outdated. Cool. So I get to merge one of my own PRs, which is kind of cheating. This allows PySpark to prefetch during toLocal iterator. No one else has explicitly approved it, but I'm a committer, and no one else has outstanding comments about it. Right? If we take a look, all of these things show outdated, which means like, I've addressed those pieces. Oh wait, what about this one? Oh yeah, okay. So this one, I wanted to make sure that Brian had a chance to come back and point out that I could be wrong. And so this is like, in either case, it waits for reading. Yeah, because the map on the partition indices is lastly evaluated, and I think that's reasonable. Right, calling toLocal iterator and just waiting. I think it's fine to wait for the first pull to kick off evaluating data. Although we could certainly do it in the toLocal iterator, but I'm not sure that would do a lot. But it's definitely eminently doable. But since Brian didn't respond, I'm okay with just going with this as is. So let's go ahead and merge this PR. So to merge a PR, what I'm going to do is get out of this console. Get out of caps. See if I've got anything. Nope. Okay, I want to go to master. I want to pull the Apache master just because sometimes people update the scripts from doing merges, and I always want to use the latest script because, you know, then our merges are a little bit more consistent. Dev merge Spark PR. Yeah, I'm going to manually update the Jira, so that's fine. I don't have the environment variables with my Jira username and password set. Proceed with merging the pull request. Yep, this looks like the pull request that I'm intending to merge, so we'll go ahead and we'll say yes. Yep, this is me. That's the author. And we'll go ahead and we'll push it to Apache. Yeah, sorry it takes so long. Okay, now it wants my username, which I think is just Holden. And it's going to want my password, which I, of course, do not remember. Yeah, I just got a message from someone asking me if some software works, and I don't know if that particular piece of software works or not. It's the joys of working, well, in software. It doesn't really matter if it's open source or not. Okay, so I think this is the same password as our Apache, as id.apache. So let's go ahead and we'll try that. Fuck, my keys are a little stuck. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and redo it. That's just my username, right? Okay, yeah. Oh, it might be Holden at apache.org. I don't know. It's been a while. Well, let's try this one. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy paste it because I've got it in my password manager here, which of course is garbage. But then copy password. Cool. Hopefully that works. If it doesn't, it's probably Holden at apache.org. That's a good question. So for me, I like having the password to access the ASF repo. And that's just so that I don't accidentally do something with it, because it's really a pain in the ass to try and fix anything that we do in the ASF repo, right? So I like having to put in my password, even though kind of it's annoying sometimes. Yeah, I'm only going to do this to master, so we're going to go ahead and say no. And yeah, the Jira Python library isn't installed, but I also don't want to update Jira automatically. I prefer to do this manually. Updated to master. Oh, I said Monday. Well, whatever. Merge to master. This is Friday. It's close enough. Although that was 7 days. My brain is made of cheese. Yeah, if I made that comment 7 days ago, then this has been outstanding for much longer than I promised people. So now we're going to go ahead, drag this PR over here, and now I'm going to go ahead and open up Jira. And apparently they're changing the ASF Jira. That's a pain in the ass because my ASF Jira account is Holden K, and my ASF account is Holden. And apparently we're going to start using LDAP for authentication. Did we already start doing LDAP for authentication? Oh, God. If we did, this is going to be really annoying. Fucking hell. Okay, this one? No. This one? No. Interesting. This one? No. That's weird. I don't know why. This one? I have too many. Apache.org related usernames. So yeah, let's go ahead. I know my username is Holden K. Cool. That's really, really weird. I'm like 90% sure. Like, this worked literally yesterday because I filed a Jira. And I thought the like migration to screw everything up was going to be later. And by screw everything up, I mean like unify our login systems. But that's like totally, quite possibly happened earlier than I thought. And I can't access the Jira. That would be super annoying. I'm going to search for Jira LDAP in my email and see if I can find out what's going on. Wednesday the 25th. So that's not supposed to happen for 5 days. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe let's go ahead. Oh man, it's being that trash. Oh god damn it. I don't know. Atlassian? No. Well, I'm not seeing the password reset email come through. So that's annoying. Maybe Jira's just looked up because there is supposed to be a migration on Wednesday. Maybe something happened early. I know I logged into Jira yesterday, so we'll just call it a day on that, and we'll update the Jira later. Okay, yeah, this PR, I don't think there's any new comments on it. Is there? There is actually, but not really. So it's one of my own PRs. I've been working on it, haven't had the chance to update it, so we'll just save that for another day. Oh yeah, the reduced test flakiness in Kubernetes one. So I did not mean to launch Firefox. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Sure no one approved it, and yeah. I said if anyone objects, if no one objects, I'll merge it tomorrow. One approval, one comment, but the comment isn't actually requesting a particular change. They just didn't mark it as approved. There was a question as to whether or not like some of the changes were necessary. Yeah, I checked my spam, but I run my own mail server, so there's just a good chance my own mail server needs like a kick in the pants too. So I'll dig into that in a little bit. But yeah, let's talk about this one. So this is to reduce the test flakiness inside of Kubernetes. And the main source of I think, a lot of the test flakiness in Kubernetes for Spark has been that previously we just, let me try and find that thread.sleep. Actually, I guess there is no thread.sleep. Previously, we just, is that thread.sleep? Yeah, there we go. Previously, we just did a thread.sleep when we executed a command, And whatever came back by then was what we considered to be the command response. And so this was just race conditions galore, and I have a laptop which is not particularly powerful that I was trying to do some Spark development work on, and the test would just not pass without changing the thread sleep. And that felt really bad, and I don't like thread sleeps in my test, or really anywhere, and so I put in a bit of time to make this ready listener, which just has an open and close latch, and we wait for the open latch and then the close latch, and then we know that we've given the command the entire time to execute. So that's great, and I'm going to go ahead and merge this pull request too. So that's good. And yeah, everyone forgets passwords. So that's good. Here's our pull request. Merge Spark PR. Yeah, I'm not gonna automatically update Jira because I don't even have access to Jira right now. I'm gonna proceed with merging this pull request. That is me, the author. And yes, please push to Apache. My username is Holden. I'm going to go get my password from my password manager because my typing skills are apparently a little off today. Goes ahead and runs. Sends the notification, and that's great. Okay, so now I can go ahead, go down here, and say merge to master. Okay, cool. Create mount for PV test suite. Okay, so this is a one where Dongjun and I have disagreed a little bit. Yeah, okay. Actually, okay. I did some more poking, and running Docker for desktop is kind of a pain in the ass. It's kind of a pain for me, so running this is kind of a pain for me. 0% of the test pass. 0% of the test pass. With the default configuration. This test is already tagged for Minikube only. So I'd argue the correct run path for running the Docker for desktop tests would be, I'm going to go ahead, and then we'll exclude underscore tags, dash exclude exclude dash tags, Minikube. And then the Docker for desktop test suite classes. I'm down to spend a few hours trying to get Docker for desktop working on my machine. If folks actually use this for their testing, but rather than Minikube. Rather than Minikube, but I think given that the readme.md suggests Minikube as the way to run our integration tests, and the test is already tagged for Minikube only, just supporting Minikube and leaving follow-up issue for someone who cares about Docker for desktop is an okay path forward. So I'm not going to go ahead and merge this because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Docker for desktop, I'm sure it's great, but getting everything to work is just a pain in the ass on all of the different random Kubernetes things possible. And this test is already literally labeled as only works on Minikube, although in practice it apparently does work on Docker for desktop, even though this test is already labeled as Minikube only. So I can see the argument either way. I'm lazy though, and so I don't want to do it. But maybe I should be less lazy. So I'll spend a bit of time on this today. But if it's more than an hour of trying to get Docker for desktop to like work, I'm just gonna call it a day, and see if Dongjun and I can come to an agreement about Minikube. And if we can't, then the alternative solution, if that isn't okay, is not okay, I could switch this into a README PR that tells people to set up the bind mounts manually. Would that be okay? Would that be an okay option with you? And so that's just like, so the other option is like, so actually, yeah, before I'm going to put this on my clipboard just in case. Let's go look at the code really quickly. Oh, so the part that he's worried about is this change. Yeah, that's fine. So then, yeah. Anyways, this does create some bind mounts if you're using Minikube, and that's hopefully going to be okay. Anyways, whatever. We'll come to an agreement at some point. There's no particular rush on this because I can just ignore the test failures here, and you know, it works in the integration environment that we run in Jenkins because we set up the binds manually. So we don't depend on where the hell is it? Yeah, okay, so I added this part to create a Minikube mount, but we already apparently have that set up on our integration environment, so it only really matters if you're running the test locally. And you know, I think you should run the test locally, but you know, I'm not in a rush if we have one test that happens to fail locally but works fine in our integration environment. Okay, so I think that's probably all of the things that I'm gonna have time to get to today. It's almost been an hour. Wow, it's a long time. I hope you join me next week. I will be doing more live streamed code reviews, 6:30 p.m. Pacific on Monday. I'll be doing another Apache Spark Code review. I don't know what on yet. I'll figure that out this weekend. On Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to explore the Apache Iceberg project. And at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, I'm going to set up Scala Metals with Emacs for Apache Spark. I meant to do that this week, but instead I got stuck in an elevator for 45 minutes. And that was not a lot of fun, and so I just kind of didn't do anything else that day. But with that, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and yeah, if there's anything in particular you want to see, send me a Twitter DM, and I'll try and do that. That's sort of where the exploring a new project one came from, and same thing for the Scala Metals one. Came from suggestions from folks. Anyways, y'all have a lovely day, and I'll see you around. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm really glad you enjoyed the session, CBR. Anyways, have a lovely day, y'all.